Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're diving into Orixha, a medtech company. They're asking a pretty fundamental question, aren't they?
They really are. Founded back in 2018, their core idea is, well, can a safe liquid ventilation platform actually save millions of critical care patients? It's about tackling those really tough, unmet
Right,
needs.
unmet needs in critical care. And their mission centers on this proprietary technology.
Exactly. It's called Lunco Live, their platform for total liquid ventilation, or TLV. It's fundamentally different from the mechanical ventilation we usually see.
Different how? You mean instead of gas?
Precisely. Instead of pushing gas or air into the lungs, they use a special breathable liquid. That's the disruptive part.
A breathable liquid. Wow. Okay, so Lunco Live is the platform. How does it work in practice? What are the applications?
Well, the liquid itself is key. It's a type of perfluorocarbon which is amazing at dissolving gases like oxygen and CO2.
So it can carry oxygen in and carbon dioxide out, potentially more gently?
That's the idea, yes. Especially helpful, when lungs are severely compromised. They have two main applications they're developing based on this.
Okay, let's break those down. First one is vent to cool.
Yes, vent to cool. This is aimed at patients who've suffered a cardiac arrest and have been resuscitated.
So a very critical window there.
Extremely critical. Vent to cool uses this liquid ventilation, but it's hypothermic. It cools the liquid
To cool the patient down.
ultra rapidly. That's the key benefit. They're aiming to get the patient's core body temperature down to 33 degrees Celsius in just 30 minutes.
30 minutes. That sounds incredibly fast compared to standard cooling protocols.
It is. Current methods often take several hours, and that time is crucial after cardiac arrest. Faster cooling potentially means much better protection against brain injury.
So the goal here is really boosting survival and maybe more importantly, improving neurological outcomes. Less damage.
Exactly. It could be a major improvement if it proves out in clinical trials.
Okay, that's vent to cool. And the second application.
That's vent to breathe. It uses the same core TLV tech, but this time it's normothermic, so normal body temperature liquid.
And the target patient group is different.
Yes, this is for patients suffering from acute respiratory distress syndrome, ARDS.
ARDS. That severe lung inflammation makes breathing incredibly difficult, right?
Terribly difficult. Oxygen exchange is severely impaired. Vent to breathe offers potentially a whole new way to oxygenate the blood and remove CO2 using this liquid when the lungs are in that state.
So it's another way liquid ventilation might help where traditional gas ventilation struggles. Still preclinical for vent to breathe, I gather.
That's right, under preclinical development currently. But the potential is significant for those severe ARDS cases.
It's fascinating stuff. Now, the sources also mentioned their use of the 3D experience platform. How does that fit in?
Yeah, it seems they're planning to use it mainly for streamlining their operations,
Hmm.
connecting their teams.
Connecting teams.
Mm-hmm.
Across different countries, wasn't it? 5 countries?
Right, for collaboration. They mentioned specifically using SolidWorks for designing the products, the tools, fixtures, that sort of thing.
Makes sense for a medtech company developing hardware.
And also using Inovia, part of the same platform, for managing their supply chain and, importantly, their quality management systems. Plus, maybe exploring simulation tools down the line.
So really about efficiency and structure as they develop these complex systems.
Right.
Okay, let's sort of recap. We have Orixha pushing the boundaries with Lunco Live, this total liquid ventilation platform.
Right, with two main shots on goal. Vent to cool for that ultra-fast cooling after cardiac arrest.
Aiming to improve survival and brain function, and vent to breathe for ARDS patients, offering a different way to manage respiration when the lungs are failing.
It all comes back to their core mission, really. Trying to save lives in critical care by thinking completely differently about ventilation.
It certainly is a different way of thinking, using liquid instead of gas.
It really highlights how innovation can come from questioning fundamental assumptions, doesn't it? Applying a different medium, a different approach to solve these persistent, difficult medical challenges.
Definitely leaves you wondering what other established methods could be reimagined with a completely fresh perspective. Thanks for walking us through this.
My pleasure. Interesting stuff.